Senator Lindsey Graham begs for money, cries on Fox News. Giuliani says, what affair? Donald Trump? No. Here it is.
Do you believe that equal justice under the law and equal application of our laws is dead?
It may be, but we got one last chance here to straighten this out. I just told you a Democratic president lies under oath regarding sexual matters. They're not prosecuted. A Democratic Secretary of State running for president destroys 33,000 emails under subpoena. They're not prosecuted. This is selective prosecution. It's legal garbage in New York. It's politically motivated. And we do have one last chance to not become a banana republic. 2024 is the most important election in my lifetime. America literally is at stake as we know it, is at stake as we know it. I'm sorry I'm so upset, but please help President Trump. If you can afford $5 or $10, if you can't afford $1, fine, just pray. Make sure you vote as early as you can in your state. Don't risk anything anymore. Vote as soon as you can. Pray for this country, pray for this president, and if you got any money to give, give it. LindseyGraham.com. It doesn't go to me. It goes to helping this president and taking back the Senate. Let's stand up for this president. Let's stand up for this country. And let's don't take this crap anymore. We all can help.
Yep, the Trump movement and the white supremacist movement, one and the same, they have entered the critical crackhead phase. They are now begging $5, $10 on national television. Lindsey Graham, sensing the end of his access to power, used to actually have common sense. Remember when he said this about Trump?
Reaction to hearing what Donald Trump says.
And disgusted. Well, I want to talk to the Trump supporters for a minute. I don't know who you are, and I don't know why you like this guy. I think what you like about him, he appears to be strong when the rest of us are weak. He's a very successful businessman, and he's going to make everything great. He's going to take all the problems of the world and put them in a box and make your life better. That's what he's selling. Here's what you're buying. He's a race-baiting, xenophobic, religious bigot. He doesn't represent my party. He doesn't represent the values that the men and women who wear the uniform are fighting for. I've been in the Air Force for 33 years. I retired this June. He's the ISIL Man of the Year, by the way. He just got back from Iraq a week ago this Monday.
I know. We interviewed you live from there. You were with Senator John McCain, and you were going into Iraq to get a status report. What were they saying there about all of this?
The military leadership and the diplomatic corps. Now, we have young men and women in harm's way all over the world, particularly in the Mideast. They were concerned about this rhetoric because the enemy will use it against us. So what was a concern last week has to be DEFCON 4 this week. Because what Mr. Trump is doing, and I don't think he has a clue about anything, he's just trying to get his numbers up and get the biggest reaction he can.
Same thing he's doing today. You see, Lindsey Graham actually had common sense, a backbone, and a level of decency back then until Donald Trump transformed him into a cult member. And now Lindsey Graham goes from saying things that actually made sense to begging for $5, $10. If you don't have it, send me your prayers on Fox News. It is interesting to see this chaos unfold. Giuliani, he goes on national television. He hasn't been right in his mind for a minute. He is seemingly confused about the reality that Trump has already admitted that he did engage in an affair during interviews. But here it is.
Why does Donald Trump keep denying that he had these affairs? He obviously had affairs with Stormy Daniels.
I don't know that. You don't.
Oh, come on. Do you actually have a doubt in your mind?
You don't know that.
Oh, come on. Do you really doubt that happened?
I don't convict people of things that I can't prove.
He's not convicted. It's not a court of law. He's not going to jail. I'm just saying it's obvious that, of course, these things happen. That's why they were getting paid for their stories.
If he is not telling the truth about that, that's not a crime.
No, it's not a crime. But it's
not
weird
a crime
defense.
at all. It's not under oath. It's not perjury. I mean, Clinton committed perjury.
Clinton committed perjury. Giuliani, I know you are no longer able to practice law, but you should at least have retained the knowledge. If Donald Trump did engage in an affair that goes to motive. Motive to pay off the individual who is at the center of his indictment. So while lying to the media is not considered an indictable offense, it is, however, part of the narrative from the prosecutors that Donald Trump did, in fact, have this relationship, that he did want it to be covered up, and he exercised illegal methods in order to get it done. As you know, Donald Trump, being the first president in the history of our country who has been criminally indicted post-presidency, this is, yes, a slippery slope. We've been on a slippery slope since the day Trump got elected. Choose your poison. Either we have a democracy or we do not. Either former presidents are above the law or they are not. That is it. No other decision to make here. A.B., thoughts?
Quite frankly, I'm sick of it, okay? We now have defendant Trump, and that's just what it is. Coming from someone who has a brother who was wrongfully convicted and has gone through the criminal justice system, as someone who doesn't really advocate for someone to go to prison, it is what it is, bro. You broke the law at this point. So all this shucking and jiving on the news and making people feel bad for him and trying to play games with the legal system, I don't think that's cool. Lindsey Graham, he's so wishy-washy. He go whichever way the wind blows, and he been doing that since the beginning of time. So I don't understand why we're surprised. He always gonna make $1 out of 15 cents. So do your thing. The fact that these people have raised over $10 million now in campaign funds, but you can't even use use a GoFundMe for legal services, but you can raise money from the American people, and you are a criminal defendant. Go off. So if we're talking about the legal system being unjustly applied, I still believe, regardless of what the charges is, it's still being unjustly applied, because how are you running for president and getting the American people's money while we struggling with inflation, can't even afford eggs, but you're getting $10 million to run for president and you are a criminal defendant?
There it is. All right, we will continue to follow developments as they come, more breakdowns and the like.